Okay, back from our alien stage. Finishing it today, we've got this one, Wiege, however it's pronounced. Then we have like 3 comics after this, and then we have the final one, which I think is Karma. Yeah, yesterday was a lot, really fucking good though. Since then though, Ivan has been firmly lodged into my mind. The more I think about his character, the more I read about his character, the more I like him. Obviously he's gone. Tail is also now gone, who I did like as well. Mizi's at the stage. Luca and Huna are facing off on the stage. We still don't know anything about Luca, apart from that he won the previous year's Alien stage, so why the fuck is he still here? But yeah, that's about it, I think. Like I said, I really, really enjoyed yesterday's stuff that I watched. Yeah, this series is fucking sick. It's really cool. Only got 2 videos left now, so man, I guess we just jump into it. I don't feel ready. I'm not ready. I haven't prepared myself for what's gonna happen in these last 2 episodes, but we just gotta go into it and just see what happens. Let's just go. No more yapping. No more stalling. Oh, I got goosebumps already. Oh god.
초라한 다른 꿈을 꾸나 고요하게 내리는 차디찬 시선 두려웠더라던 여린 갈대처럼
This is gorgeous, man.
갈망에 젖은 날개 겨울에 펼쳐 손바닥만큼도 못한 새싹처럼 슬픔이 춤추고
I saw this in the comic.
새벽을 깨려 할 때 자연스레 품을 거야 노래하던 바다
나는 매 시간 다음으로 나아가야 하는데 그랬는데 네가 늘 유일한 약점이었지. 그래서 네가 너무 미웠어. 루카, 사랑하며 살아. 아픔도 나약함도 못 봐주게 부끄러운 순간들도 받아들여. 스스로를 용서해. 몇 번이고 몇 번이고. 모든 건 그때부터 시작이야.
Okay, so yeah. Honestly, not surprising to me that Huna dies here, unfortunately. But we learn more about Luca. So it seems he killed all these. Are they the providers, like the mothers? And he's kind of like setting them free here, almost like an act of mercy, because they don't want to just keep on giving birth to the creations. Maybe, I'm not too sure. It's interesting, Huna had a more positive relationship with Luca than I assumed. I assumed that she would be back here for revenge, given what he did to her brother. But no, and that's a weakness, as she said. Now, this is the stuff that we saw in the comics we read last time. Yeah, Luca seems all kinds of messed up, like in different ways too. We've seen people previously that have had obsessions with other characters. Like, this guy doesn't have anyone aside from Huna. It seems he was completely raised by the aliens, so he doesn't even have. And even Huna didn't stay with him for a long time. I love this little part here. This is really nice. And he's just happy to be by her side. Oh, these little tidbits of these, it's just horrible. This part was so beautiful, this little segment here. It does make you forget what we're actually watching. I think that's the sketches I saw, the extra part of this comic that I didn't show in the reaction. I did see that eventually. Oh, these four, man. kind of feels like a culmination of everything that's happened so far here. This is obviously the rebellion team, and obviously the gun to Luca's head, make sure he doesn't do anything drastic. But he doesn't even it doesn't even register to him that there's a gun to his head. He just sees Huna and instantly has to run towards her, and Huna quickly gets in front, sacrifices herself for him. It's interesting because we never really saw Huna's reasoning for joining this rebellion of, was that Anak? I think that was it. The Anak Garden, something like that. Anyway, the rebellion for this whole thing. But I feel like this clears it up a little, in that it was for Luca somewhat. Obviously not entirely. I think she had righteous motivations in the first place. That this whole thing was fucked. So she knew she wanted to do something about that. But she also simultaneously had her own personal reasons. And maybe get some dialogue, which is really interesting. Yeah, I was actually about to say that the reason she hates him so much isn't because that. Well, it kind of is because he killed her brother, but it's also because he killed her brother and she still doesn't feel hatred because of that. She still loved him, and that there was a weakness there to her, which transforms into hate, which then transforms into love again because it's a weakness she can't. So this is like the ultimate act for her. This is a great line. Embrace the pain, the frailty, and the moments so unbearably shameful. And forgive yourself. Because everything begins from there. I wonder what exactly she's referring to with, in terms of what Luca needs to forgive himself for. Is it for murdering her brother? Is it for his original act of, I assume, killing all the providers? Is it just kind of embracing the games as he has? And lots of people would have died because of that. I mean, we still don't really know why he's still here, why he's still performing, despite winning the previous one. And now we're going to get some Mizi focus after so long away from that. I want to watch this little segment again. And the music swells and the visuals brighten up, looking faster a bit. Wow, bro. You know what caught my eye was this part with Huna and Luca, because they look older here. I can't tell if that's just something that maybe was. No, that's got to be real. I don't think it's in his head. I'm not too sure about that. I mean, the fact that he obviously has some obviously stuff wrong with him. The fact that he's able to murder another child like that and have this kind of look on his face, you know, this isn't a. It's not entirely kind of happy to see Huna look. It's a also there's a little bit of guilt there. There's a little bit of like, oh my god, what have I just done? Kind of. It's not entirely happy. It's a really complicated expression to look at and try and break down. I feel like in comparison, it's not the same as this. This is like complete infatuation. Like, infatuation to the point where it is detrimental. Oh man. There's a brutal cut here as well to start the song. He must have been kind of seen as an outcast a bit. I mean, this kind of portrays that pretty well. But Huna is the one to come up and show kindness to him for possibly the first time in his life. No wonder he becomes so obsessed with her. I wonder if his entire reasoning to be on stage is for her and to see her again. I just read the comics actually because I'm sure I got like 3 to read now, and then the final video. There's definitely going to be stuff in them that kind of fills in some gaps maybe and clears things up. So let's just go into them now. Only know stuff can only look the same. Yeah. It's almost a similar thing to Ivan dying in front of Till, but Ivan's was to kind of make a point about the games and also to obviously mostly to kind of leave a negative memory of himself until when he's gone and not and allow Till to move on from that. Whereas this, Huna will die in front of Luca as revenge, because that's she is unable to do anything kind of hateful towards him. Like, there's nothing else that she feels like she can do, or she even feels maybe she's capable of doing as an act of revenge towards Luca, because of her love for him and her complicated feelings for him. But this is like the ultimate revenge act. What a line. And it's going to cut to her. Yeah. Well, that's interesting. That's such a good line, saying I'll be your new puzzle now, and saying oh she'll make it harder. That's so good. Huh. Interesting. So it definitely felt like they had an intimate relationship. I'm trying to figure out where in the timeline this is. Is this might be the previous year, the previous Alien stage, where they're both contestants, and we know I'm pretty sure Huna was a contestant then, but she managed to escape, and obviously Luca was a contestant and won it. So during that time, this was when their relationship kind of got intimate like this. Interesting. Oh, this is great. Let's go on to the next one. Oh, Mizi, yay. Oh my god. Oh, Luca's here. I'm pretty sure this is Luca anyway. Or is this the other guy? I forgot his name. That's interesting. That this is probably a notion forced onto them by the aliens. That's interesting. That kind of recontextualizes Ivan's kiss with Till on stage a little. Then, like, that's a statement beyond just a sacrifice and beyond just what he was doing for Till. That's interesting. Maybe I'm reading too much into that. I'm not too sure. Oh wow. Damn. Oh, that's when. Whoa. This is Till, right? Am I being silly? Till dies here. Oh yeah, he's saying it as himself. I'm pretty sure that's why he's blushing. I think. Actually, give me a sec. Let me check some. I'm looking at previous. I'm looking at Till and Luca, and I can't find any of them where they have this mole under the eye. I'm not too. I'm annoyed. I'm not understanding who this is. Maybe I'm just looking too into it, and this is just Till, and that is why he lashes out like this. And I'm pretty sure you mentioned about lashing out at her one time. Yeah, still, I should have just kept reading them. I'm a fucking idiot. Damn. Whoa, what an expression from Mizi. Huh. There's something more. There's something more to her, isn't there, that we haven't really been clued into yet. Hmm. Whoa. Whoa. That's just a bit. That's a bit sinister, isn't it? Whoa. Whoa. Okay. I this last episode is gonna go a bit insane, isn't it? So Mizi absolutely isn't this innocent, ignorant soul who we used to know. Has she been playing the game, like playing it this whole time to survive and win the game, or is it literally another side of her, like some kind of bipolar disorder or DID situation? Maybe it is just a completely different side of her that maybe she created subconsciously to survive these games. Wow, this was wow. I'm so glad I read this. I'm glad I read all the comics, but this one, like in particular, feels like it's showing something we have never even remotely seen before. Like this side of Mizi, she kind of emulates Till's slap, and then quickly she's like, "Oh, what the fuck? Like, what did I just do, bro?" And she's not like she doesn't seem sympathetic to her situation either. It's like she's too innocent, happy-go-lucky to a point where it's harmful to others. But and is he playing the act too much? Is it an act? Like, I mean, because we get to this point and it does suggest that it's an act from the other Mizi. Like, you've made it. Like, congratulations. Well, okay, let's just read this next comic. We have one more, and then we'll get into the final video. like Sue doesn't look happy in this situation, but everything prior to this comic and the last one, you'd think she maybe would be. But even then, we did see glimpses of her just not completely like out of it. Huh? So yes, obviously, so her mother dies here in an accident. Did Mizi actually have anything to do with this, or was it just kind of like the starting point? And is it aliens that took her in now? Judging by the kind of shapes in the background, maybe. I have no idea what they're saying, so yeah, I think so. Oh yeah, oh god. Is that another alien as well? Oh god, man. So she saw the alien stage, I guess, and she wanted to go there. Hmm. Oh god, oh my god. Mm. Okay. Okay. I see. I see. This last episode is going to be fucking ridiculous, isn't it? Okay. Hmm. Wow. That's so interesting and cool. How they've just flipped her character on her head like that. It kind of recontextualizes everything we've seen before. So I wonder in the first, obviously the very first video, we see her absolutely shocked and crying when Sua is killed. Is that an act? Is that a version of Mizi that is genuinely like that and innocent? I don't know. But it more, to me, it all feels like an act at this point, more so than an actual separate personality. But I mean, and then again, there's like, that line can be blurred very easily. I think we just get into the final. We just get into the final episode and just go from there. Oh God. Okay, Karma, Alien Sage. We have 8 minutes, 8 whole minutes of whatever the fuck could happen. Let's just get into it. Maybe I'll end up pausing this one if there seems appropriate at times. I don't know. I'll see. Let's just fucking go, man. Fuck.
위선 떨지 마. 너나 나나 구원받을 자격 없어.
그대와 함께 있나 멀리 지하의 별로 우리 영원 어쩜 그 너머까지 당신과 나 또 우리 그대와 함께 있나 비로소 지하의 별로 우리 영원 어쩌면 그 너머까지 당신과 나 또 우리 어스름 내려와 우릴 감싸 안으며 당신과 내 심장 흐드러지게 웃지 바람을
So different artistically for all the others.
영원한 곳으로 그대와 함께 라면 이 사랑
현아 언니, 고백할 게 있어요. 그 애는 매일 밤 남몰래 죽음을 연습하고 있었어요.
Huh?
사실 알면서 모른 척했어요. 아마도 전 그 애한테 그렇게까지 절박하지 않았나 봐요. 언니의 사랑과는 다르다는 거 알아요. 하지만 이것 또한 사랑이었어요. 그 누가 뭐라 할 수 있겠어요? 언니도 그 애의 표정을 봤다면 날 질책할 수 없을걸요?
어스름 내려와
감정에 직면하지 않았지. 적당한 대의나 정의 같은 것에 매달리면 뭔가 해결되는 것 같았나요? 돌아온 게 그 개죽음이고 자유가 주어진다 한들 우린 똑같이 외로웠을 거예요. 인간 그 자체가 이 모든 괴로움을 주범이고 사랑하면서도 자취하지 않고선 살아갈 수 없는 존재들이니까.
거스름 내려와 우릴 감싸 안으며 당신과 내 심장 부드러지게 웃지 바람을 타고서 영원히 영원한 곳으로 그대와 함께 가면 이상
What the fuck is going on?
인간에겐 그리고 이 짐승들에겐 어린 것의 순수함은 사치였다. 끝나지 않는 고통 속에서 사랑하고 사랑하며 언젠가 올날의 희망을 품는 것은 살고자 하는 본능인가 이타심인가. 그
와우.
중심에 있던 여자, 지금은 마녀라 불리는 그 여자는 늘 사랑을 찾곤 했다. 그 사랑을 탓할 수 있을까? 이 원자의 굴레는 어디서부터 왔으며 도무지 해답이 없는 시련을 이 생명들이 극복할 수 있을까?
Wow. That was 8 minutes. I thought we were like halfway through. What? What? Okay. Let's just go through it from the beginning. So instantly Mizi goes over to Luca. So does Luca live? I didn't see if he died or not, I can't remember. Thank God I read those comics before this as well, because this would have been like such whiplash almost. I feel like. quite sad because Sua really, really did love Mizi. I felt like we barely even got to know anything about Sua. And Mizi was like a real light in her life, but at the same time, so it seemed like they had a plan to, and we see the rocket go off in the background of the last one. I assume that's the Anak garden with all the kids in it. So, and Mizi just executes it, and we see the rocket like just stop and come crashing back down. It just like it very clearly through the visuals and through just the entire thing shows love to be this double-edged sword, and God, it's just so much. It's Ivan forcing his love onto Till, and we get another one, and it's shattering and breaking, and the black sludge to come out, obviously not exactly representative of anything good. And we see it again with Huna and Luca. Wow. And artistically as well, it was instantly so much different to any of the other ones. So yeah, so she was prepared to die in this moment, and we see. I think there's a line from Mizi about how her love was different to hers, and this kind of encapsulates it, and it's shown through all the other characters as well, in that they're willing to die for this person they love. We see it with Ivan and Till. We see it with Huna and Luca. And now we see it with Sua and Mizi. But Mizi, it's not something, that isn't something she's willing to do. She doesn't view love in such a, almost just like a, like that act of dying for someone is kind of romanticized a bit. She doesn't view it like that. It's not such a noble and selfless act. She doesn't view love in that kind of lens at all, based on how she's grown up and what her definition of love is compared to everyone else's. She doesn't. There's almost, to Mizi, compared to a lot of the other characters, there is like no hope and light in the world. Like there's nothing to her, even though we've seen several times that she can enjoy herself and have fun with other people, but deep down there isn't any, I feel like there's no optimism there in her heart at all. And obviously, and it's the same for all the characters, and it's a result of their environments and how they've grown up, and just the things that have happened to them because of this society, because of this world and what they're being put through. Obviously that is like the root of everything, but it's not like these characters, they're not entirely defined by that either. They've grown up and aren't perfect, not because of that. Like, they aren't perfect despite that as well. Like, it's easy just to kind of say, yeah, these, like, you can kind of what's it called? You can kind of forgive these characters because of their environment and all these things that happen to them. But no, I don't think it is as easy as that. You can't just place the blame on one thing and call it a day. It's too complicated. It's too deep rooted and too. It is just too complex to even kind of try and place a blame on one particular thing or the other. And obviously, there is a root cause of this whole world, but like Mizi, I think it was Mizi's heard about humans, is that no matter what, whether they were placed in, I mean, the environments they were kind of put in within the Anat Garden were kind of depicted as this kind of idyllic space, the kind of the trees and the hills and the greenery and the kind of the pure white blue surroundings. It's kind of depicted as this kind of idyllic sort of safe haven for them. And obviously we know it isn't, but I feel like that is also to represent that even if this was a natural kind of way of life for the humans living there, that these kind of outcomes would have happened inevitably, regardless. And it's a kind of a theme that is shown in a lot of things. Is that it's the classic zombie film. I watched 28 Days recently, and it is the classic zombie film plot development and kind of trope kind of thing where it's like the humans are the real monsters and that kind of thing. But here it's done really, really compellingly, and the way the monstrosity, the level of being a monster as a human differs between the characters is fascinating, and the way Mizi views it all is even more fascinating. I'm just going to keep going because there is a lot I want to kind of... See, that's the thing, she pretended not to. Yeah, and maybe I wasn't as desperate for her, and her love was different. But that doesn't mean it wasn't love. Yeah, this part where Sua saves Mizi, whether it's kind of Mizi fell or whether it's some suicidal act, Sua saved Mizi, and she sees the look on this face of someone who desperately does not want to let her go and does not want to see her die. And I feel like it almost... I don't know if I'm making sense here, but it almost disgusts her to see someone so in love with her, despite knowing who she is. And Mizi's kind of perception of love isn't a good one. It reminded me a little bit of Toko from Bloom Into You, who views love as a word that binds people and not in any sort of positive light at all, and it basically, she kind of forces that definition of it onto you. It's a little bit similar, where Mizi has this perception of love that isn't positive or a good thing at all, and she forces it onto other people. But I think the kind of difference is here is that these people kind of reject that notion that their love isn't a good thing for Mizi. We see it with Till. I think Till's one of the most interesting examples of it, because it was framed in I can't remember which episode it was, but it was framed in an episode where he is very obsessed with Mizi, and it's framed in a way that makes him look really deranged and just really obsessive, and especially going from the first episode with Mizi and Sua, this lesbian romance, or implied lesbian kind of romantic feel to it, to Till, who is this guy who is obsessed with this girl who is gay, and it's not pleasant. It makes you a bit uncomfortable, but Till never ever forces himself onto Mizi, and I know that's not. I'm not praising him for that. That's a low bar to kind of be like, he never, like, obviously that's something that obviously he shouldn't do. But in this kind of environment where all these people are doing these incredibly fucked up things, that is genuinely surprising. Is that he kept that love to himself, and there's something kind of special and sacred about that, and that's something that I think Missy looks at and it confuses her. It doesn't make sense to her, and I'm not too sure where I'm going with this, but I think that's why in the end Mizzy ends up saving Till when she finds out he's alive, is that she sees a love in Till for Mizzy, for herself, that isn't stained, that isn't sort of, that is more pure. It's not a kind of a, it's not a love that Mizzy understands and Mizzy knows. It is a love that she can see some sort of light in. And I think if, for example, if in just some kind of parallel world where Till did force herself onto Mizzy at some point, or did commit kind of horrible acts towards Mizzy, frequently, she probably wouldn't have saved him knowing that he was alive there in that moment. Because like what she did by kind of sabotaging the mission of the Anat Garden and having that all crash and burn, she wouldn't have seen a positive future through that. But it's interesting at the same time because Till's obsession with Mizzy isn't one to just kind of romanticize or be the one kind of shining positive example of love in the series. I definitely don't want to come across as someone who is like kind of on Till's side or whatever, because it's an obsession that in many ways is very ugly and has, I mean, we saw in the comic of him lashing out at her, but I mean, but then again, that she knowing Mizzy now and knowing how like insensitive she is and she can be, and that this whole thing was an act, and that playing this character, like, there's no kind of way you can look at one character or another and be like, oh no, they're in the right, they're in the wrong, like they did this, they did that. That it's no, is I've had this conversation with Maiko and Avimuchika characters. Like there's no point looking for someone to solely blame or someone to say they're in the right, they're in the wrong. It's not black and white. It's a similar thing with Avimuchika and this, where you have this cast of characters and they're all fucked up, all kinds of different fucked up that they inflict on each other, and above them there are sources of this pain. Avimuchika, you have this patriarchal family, toxic kind of environment that Sahiko grew up in with Sadaharu and the Togawas. Alien stage, you have obviously the aliens and what they're doing to the humans, and this whole kind of thing, this whole event, this whole show. And yeah, it's really interesting, it's really good, it's really, really, really good. This episode just, it kind of, and from this point onwards, before this point, when I was looking and going through the characters, going through the episodes, like, enjoying it, it felt very focused in on an interpersonal level on these characters, and I was like, yeah, this character's great. This, like, I like this character. I'm sad that character. This music, like this, it's all very focused interpersonal, emotive kind of stuff. This episode feels like it completely pulls the camera back and the scope is widened completely, and now you're looking in at this sort of bubble, this sort of space and environment where these emotions and these feelings and all these things that we've been seeing previously are being cultivated and propagated by the environment and by each other. What I'm trying to say is that it feels like from up to this point, this is what we've been watching. This is what we've been watching, and the camera's been there. And we've been watching different characters, and the camera's always been very close to them there. But this episode now completely just pulls it back and reveals just kind of what they were going for thematically, and the message they're trying to send, and the overall scope, and the kind of, and this word I'm fucking short circuiting because there's so many fucking things going on in my head after watching this, but it's great, is what I'm trying to say. It's really good, and I really like what this episode does beyond just a little kind of interpersonal conclusion and drama and getting into Mizi's head a bit. It just widens things and makes you appreciate the series as a whole. But yeah, enough yapping, let's keep going. And as always, visually, it's just been getting better and better as well visually, which is great. It's cool to see that kind of progression where, compared to like the first couple, not to say that the art was bad or anything, but it wasn't moving as much. There wasn't much animation. It was all just very incredibly well done drawings. And now you have incredibly well done drawings that move and are animated, and this whole series has evolved into something so much more. It's really impressive, the development. I can only imagine, being someone who's watched it from the start, watched it through, I'm not too sure how many years, I think it's maybe 2 or 3 years that it's been going on. I'm not too sure, I might be wrong, but watching that kind of develop from a production standpoint must have been super cool to witness. Because people will say this about a lot of stuff, but I mean, every frame is a painting. Every frame you can hang in on a wall. I love this representation of, obviously, the Anat garden that Mizi has just thrown back down to earth, the crash and burn, to just destroy it all, and having the kids in it be the characters that we see, and it's kind of a representation of what she's trying to destroy, and destroy herself in the process as well. Like this includes herself. She, like she said at the beginning, she doesn't deserve to be saved. Yeah, and this is the thing. She has just no faith in humanity and the emotion that is love, that can bring so many good things. She has no faith in that whatsoever. She saw that they were obviously trying to free these kids, and she's just saying that even if they were free, these sort of things would happen again. Yeah, we're creatures who can't seem to love without exploiting, and that's because that's how Mizi has viewed love from the start. That's the only love that she knows and understands. She hasn't received love that isn't like that. So she destroys it all. She's just sick of it all. As she should be, to be honest. Though her actions are a bit drastic here. I'm pretty sure I am understanding this right, that she has just murdered a lot of children, essentially. But at the same time, maybe she's freeing them. Like, it's another thing where it's like, what she did was wrong, but there's parts of it that's like, well, she had a point, you know. Like, it's that kind of the villain had a point kind of thing, you know. I love this part with Sua embracing her. It's like almost a stab. It's like another stab in the heart for her. And she finds out that Till is alive. And she desperately runs to the other member of the team. And it's like it's such a selfish thing to do after what you just did. But he's not gonna deny her this. And it's another example of this exploitation that she's talking about as well. That is all she knows. But I think her act of saving Till is a very genuine one. It's one that comes from nothing but a good place. There is no underhanded intentions here. There's nothing being hidden here from her. Wow. I mean, and then we get into this section at the end. It's funny because she says she pretended not to know, but she's still. It's not like she just kind of glanced at her doing this and then walks away. She goes to embrace her. She's like, no, like, I don't. Like. It's funny, the moment I saw this line, I was like, I instantly think back to when I was talking about Mizi in the first few reactions and how I was saying how she has this innocence that none of the other kids have. It's like, well, no, she didn't at all. And like she said, this isn't a world where innocence exists. It's a fleeting state for these children. And then we see, obviously, the aliens, they take, or whoever's in charge, they take the blood of the people, all our characters who have died, and they're just remade again. And maybe this has been something that has been happening for God knows how long. And it's these same enigmatic and charismatic figures on the stages, and I'd love to, maybe there's stuff out there that is showing the older Alien stages and the characters involved in that. I doubt it, but maybe this is something that has been going on for an incredibly long time. And it's just mixes of all the characters that we know, and it's like, it's uncanny to see. A woman now called a witch who was always searching for love, and and it's funny because her act just kind of sets back humans and their image in society even more. So even though I feel like the ending, it's like kind of hopeful with Till appearing to save them, it's stuff like this that makes me wonder how it will go in the future, you know? I do really love this line, the woman who now called a witch who was always searching for love, and how like kind of contradictory that is, as if someone searching for love is a bad thing and it's something that is bad enough to deem them a witch. Exactly, you can't really blame her for that. I think it's really cool we end with Till, of all characters. I don't know, it feels a bit, it does feel hopeful. Ending with Till. I don't think there's another character that we could have ended on like this that would have kind of driven home that the hope they were going for here. I was debating whether it wasn't a hopeful ending or not, but I think it definitely is now that I think about it, knowing that it's Till who they decide to end on. Someone who, despite it all, can smile like that and is going to the lengths to do these things for people who, these kids don't know him. He knows these kids, but they man, that's interesting. That's so cool. Fuck. Oh, wow, wow, wow. What a series. What a cool way to end it as well. Incredibly ambitious storytelling in what, I mean, overall, maybe half an hour of like videos or footage, like, I guess maybe less. I'm not too sure. Maybe like half an hour, 40 minutes overall, and it's incredibly ambitious. The story it tells, between five main characters: Sue and Ivan, Mizi, Till, Luca, and Huna. 6. Yeah, wow. What a fucking fascinating series. And what a just incredibly interesting premise in the first place as well. And the music, the visuals, everything, the voice acting, everything that's come out of it has just been so cool, so good. I can absolutely see now why people, my friends on Twitter, have just got so brainwashed over it, and it. Oh man, I'm gonna have to sit on this for a few days. Maybe rewatch them and just look at some of them, look at more of the side content. But yeah, very, very happy I checked this out. Thank you so much, Shah, for essentially putting me on and giving me the pointers and the stuff I needed to watch and read. And thank you everyone in the comments as well for clearing stuff up. I'm sure there's stuff in this one that I will miss. It's 8 minutes long. It was very overwhelming. Hell of a lot of information, stuff to think about and stuff to consider. And yeah, it's crazy. I forget we watched something before this where with Luca and Huna as well. That's how just kind of overwhelming this video has been. It feels like I've just been sat here watching this the whole time and talking about this the whole time. But no, we read 3 comics which were fucking exceptional, and there was the previous round. But yeah, again, please do fill me in, fill in the gaps, correct me if I'm wrong on certain things, because as it is with this kind of format, where they do show, not tell you a lot of stuff, there is certain things I'm not going to pick up on, certain things that I don't read between the lines for. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed this. I really appreciate anyone that's kept watching these as well. It's been a really fun time reacting to it. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I don't know when I'll see you, but I'll see you then.